So, J.K. Rowling came out this week saying that she will struggle to vote Labour due to their stance on women's rights and the transgender issue. Will this put a dent in the women's vote share for Labour? Is this even an issue that's high up on voters' concerns? And why is there so much hate and toxicity on both sides of this argument? This should be fun. This subject's never toxic, is it? It won't lose me any subscribers talking about this topic. Let's get into it. So first of all, is this going to affect the female vote share for Labour? To be honest, no, I don't think it is. Looking at a lot of different polls, gender politics doesn't come anywhere near the top key issues that voters are concerned about. I generally think women are kind of split on this issue anyway. I seem to hear as many voices that are pro transgender rights as there are that are pro J.K. Rowling on these issues. Now, as always, with every single political issue, whether it be immigration, tax, NHS, you always get the two extremes of the argument, and then in the middle you get where the majority of people sit on this issue, and generally where you'll find the most decent solutions and compromises. But unfortunately, with this issue of gender politics, it feels like over the last 10-15 years that the extremes on this argument have been so vocal, so toxic, that they just seem to be pushing everyone in the centre to take a side. So the more moderates on this topic are just getting pushed out to the extremes. Do you remember back in the 90s and the 2000s when Lily Savage was on Saturday night TV every week? Nadia, the first trans contestant on Big Brother, won it in 2006. I generally believe that positivity towards trans people was at an all-time high in the 90s and 2000s. But then social media came along, Facebook, Twitter, everyone could get their voices heard, no matter how loopy, no matter how extreme, they could put their views out to everyone online. And then the emergence of the short video, the reels, the TikTok videos, the YouTube shorts, where videos like these could be shared around the world.
This TV debate on trans athletes went off the rails.
The conclusion I'm drawing is that we should just get rid of gender altogether, and we should have sports based on body metrics, because then
so you would like to have the Olympic. So just to be clear, the Olympic Games, you'd have gender neutral.
Yes, I would, because
don't be so ridiculous. We'd let Floyd Mayweather, who is pound for pound the most successful boxer in male history, in a year's time compete at the same weight against women.
Yeah, if there's a weight category.
This is nonsense. I'm sorry.
If you're saying that we should get rid of sporting categories altogether, do you support the idea of eliminating the Paralympics versus the Olympics?
I think that's a really great question, and
oh my God!
I need to look into that, because as you say,
honestly, someone needs to tell this guy to stop going on Piers Morgan's show. You are doing untold damage to the trans community. You may think you're doing a great job, making great points, but the Piers Morgan viewers don't want to hear it. And these videos, they get clipped into short videos, they get shared to millions of people, and millions of people that may have been on the fence on the trans issue, or maybe were just a little bit curious, have now seen you embarrass yourself, talk about Paralympic athletes competing with trans and everyone competing the same. You're an embarrassment, and you've just made a million more anti-trans people. Stop going on the show. If you don't go on the show, these videos can't be made. And this is the problem, because people that sit in the centre on this issue and have quite moderate views just get shown these videos, they turn up on their feed, they get fed more and more of these clipped videos of people like him just embarrassing, just a pure embarrassment to the trans community. And it pushes people that were moderate in the centre to the fringes. Because generally, most people feel the same about this topic. Most people understand that there are trans people out there, genuine people that feel like they're trapped in the wrong gender and want to live their life as a woman or a man. And they should have the right to be able to live as a woman, as a man, with all the benefits that comes with it. For those that are genuine transgender and they go through the years of hormone replacement and everything that comes with it, most people appreciate that. But I am also sympathetic to the fact that some women are afraid. They're afraid that perverted men will take advantage of these sort of rules. Perverted men will try and abuse the pronoun situation to gain access to women's changing rooms, women's bathroom. Now, I've always said it's hard for me as a man. I don't have a dog in this fight. This situation, this whole issue needs to be resolved by women. I don't care. I mean, I go swimming a lot. My local swimming changing rooms, you just have cubicles. Everyone goes in, does what they need to do, and comes out. It's not really an issue. I think more gender neutral options is definitely a much better way to go. But most moderate people, most people in this country will agree that we just can't have a situation where any guy just says, I'm a woman and gets access to women's changing rooms. We can't have a situation where someone decides they want to be a woman and start competing against women in sport. Most people, and most people I talk to in the trans community, agree with this as well. But as I said, the fringes of this conversation have the loudest voice on this topic, and it's toxic. A man can't put on a dress and suddenly compete in women's tennis. You know, these things are obviously absurd, but this is the general opinion. This is the general opinion of most moderate people that believe that genuine trans people should have the rights of a female or a male, but it can't go out of control where perverted men can get access to women's spaces. Now, it's a tricky situation. I don't have the answers. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm a man. This issue needs to be resolved by women. And this is where Labour have really got to get on top of this. Now, Rachel Reeves has come out in the press recently saying she wants to talk to J.K. Rowling. She'd done an interview about women's rights.
On the issues around the protection of spaces for biological women, we're absolutely committed to that. That's enshrined in the Equality Act that the last Labour government introduced, and we will protect women-only spaces based on biological sex. And I'm very, very happy to give that reassurance to women here in Scotland and across the United Kingdom.
Just generally need to go back to that moderate opinion that we seem to have in the 90s and the 2000s, where everyone appreciated, everyone knew that there are people out there that are transgender, that feel trapped in the wrong body, and we need to help them, give them the support that they need, and especially not harass them every single day on social media. I've seen it. It's disgusting. The trans community make up a very small part of the population, but they get an incredible amount of hate online, and this has to stop. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how. With social media and the clipped videos that we see and the entrenched opinions that people have on this topic, I don't know how you heal the divide. I really don't. The only thing I can think of is just try to have more grown-up conversations about this topic, not constantly arguing and hating on each other in the street and protests violently on both sides of this argument. We need to go back to grown-up conversations on these topics, and that's what the world's turned into now. You have to be decisive on one side or the other, whether it's the trans debate, whether it's Israel-Palestine. You have to take a side, and you have to vigilantly, staunchly push your side of the argument. Where's the moderates? They've all disappeared. Where's the conversation on these topics? Where's the, do you know what, let's listen to both sides of the argument and come to some sort of conclusion. We don't do it anymore, and it's really sad to see. It really is. Thank you for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, click a like. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe up top. There'll be another video. Please don't get too angry at me. I'm just giving my honest, open opinions. I don't think I've said anything too savage, but this topic in particular is so savage. People are so vigilant on both sides. Till next time, take care.